Episode 6 of All of Us Are Dead starts on the roof as Cheol-soo leaves an SOS note for whoever may be looking. Yoon-ji, however, happens to still be alive and despite being bitten numerous times, finds herself in the bathroom washing blood off her hands. Is she another who has survived the infection and become a super zombie? Following what happened to her parents, a suicidal Jimin is saved by her fellow students from jumping out the window. She isn't sure how to continue on. Anjo takes her aside, though, and talks to her about her own familial woes. Anjo doesn't want to lose any more friends, and she can empathize with Jimin's feeling of loss. As they lean on the speaker, a high-pitched whine rings out through the school. This gives Namra an idea as she decides to use the sound as a distraction for the zombies to sneak out and escape to safety. Soo-hyuk is first to speak, though, and he communicates with Cheong-san, telling him to hold tight. It's not until Anjo speaks and says the same thing that he actually listens. Unfortunately, Guinam is also listening, and with a knife in hand, he charges for the broadcasting room to catch them off guard and kill Cheong-san. While all the zombies are distracted by the broadcasts, drawn to the speakers in the corner of each hallway, one lowly zombie happens to be stuck against the wall, right outside the broadcasting room. It constantly smacks its head while the entire group slowly creep past, before they blow their cover. The chase is on and they make it to safety. However, Guinam realizes what the kids are up to, seeing their scribbled plan in the broadcasting room and continuing his chase. Unfortunately, this also sees him come face to face with Soo-hyuk. Namra tries to save him, but winds up bitten for her troubles. Guinam is knocked out the window, allowing the pair to escape. The rest of the gang manage to make it over to Cheong-san, but in doing so, once again find themselves surrounded. And worse, Namra is obviously bitten and could well be infected. Outside at the quarantine zone, things continue to turn ugly. The group are being kept in quarantine for at least 4 weeks. Anjo's father, Nam So-ju, tries to find a way out sooner, which eventually leads to him choking out one of the guards and knocking out another. Anjo's dad is determined to get back to his daughter and decides to leave, taking their uniform for himself. Posing as a guard, So-ju sneaks off with Yoo-sin, one of the other office workers in disguise. With no kids in school uniforms among those in the quarantine, Anjo's dad realizes he needs to leave. Meanwhile, Cheong-san breaks the news to the others about Guinam being infected. As he's basically infected but not a proper zombie, it's unknown what the ramifications are for Namra now that she's been bitten. Soo-hyuk decides to take responsibility for her, choosing to stand by Namra's side and stop the others from hurting her. Tensions soon grow between him and Cheong-san. Anjo does try to talk him down, but it soon becomes apparent that Namra is infected. Or at least infected with a different strain or variation of this virus. She has the bloodshot eyes and glossy look, but not the bleeding nose or the cold hands. Hostility ripples right the way through the group, threatening to turn them against one another. In order to quell any doubts, Soo-hyuk ties his hand to Namri's, taking full responsibility for anything that could happen to them. Meanwhile, Jae-ik ventures out of the chicken shop momentarily, only to find another little girl outside. She rushes toward him with hungry zombies behind her. Jae-ik manages to save her, though, as she points out her infected mother in the horde, banging on the windows. So-ju manages to make it free from the quarantine zone, with a little help from Yoo-jin, who gives him a boost over the wall. However, he goes on alone and evades gunfire as he tries to make it to safety. Of course, this is an island, so that's easier said than done. Back with the broadcasting group, each of the kids use a handheld camera to send lasting messages with Dae-soo singing and Anjo promising to do her best. As she speaks, we cut across to So-ju once more, who's chased by guards with embarrassingly bad aim. I mean, literally, he's running in a straight line and he manages to evade every single bullet. As he makes it underwater, it's clear he's been shot once, while Anjo gives an impassioned plea to her father. If you're watching this channel for the first time, hit the subscribe button and watch other episodes. Until then, it's me, Mitsubishi, signing off.